Okay. Okay, I think we're live. Always the technical difficulties. Welcome. It's your boy Jake, aka Korean Jew Trading. Some people like to call me KJ. And here with you guys on a Saturday. I'm just going to shoot the link out on Twitter and we'll get started. Not financial advice. Got to throw that in there. You know how it goes. This guy had a dream about Beaksy pumping. Oh, that's the Beaksy guy. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Let's look at NAS. Am I live? You guys hear me? Everything good? Let me know. What's going on? What is up? Not sure if it's live or not. Where's the chat? Let's see. Let's look at Bitcoin first. Just wait till a couple more people come in. Let me see. If you guys are getting this, say something in the chat just so I know that you can hear me, and I'll get started. All right, cool. What's up? All right, so let's look on a higher time frame. This is the daily chart on Coinbase. And one of the things that I've seen the past month or so, a lot of people, I'm going to get rid of these drawing tools actually for now, is people were comparing, there was a lot of comparison between this right here and this. So basically they were looking at it. Hey, what's up? Broken link. Oh, I got a bad link. Okay, let me fix that. Whoops, link doesn't work. Okay, I'm old, man. Bear with me. I can never get it right, I swear. Let me just get this. Oh, there it is. This. Oh. All right. Morning. It's not morning. There we go. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Thanks, guys. Zen K, are you bullish on Bitcoin and altcoin? The short answer is yes. Yes, I am. What up, though? What up? What up, Gary? Isaac Montero in the house. What's up, Ike? How you doing, man? You get to the gym today? I just crushed it. Back day. I know I'm gonna be sore. Actually killed it today. Feeling really good. Feel really good. Like got a good handle on the market. Things are falling into place. And I made a tweet actually last night, and for the people that actually tune in, I want to elaborate it on that one for you a little bit. And you know, at the end of the day, At the end of the day, people that watch these videos or tune in to my Twitter feed or whatever the case may be, everybody's kind of like doing it different. Not everybody is looking at things the same way. So there are people that are like very high frequency, low time frame traders. Like they're trying to capture $60 moves or $100 moves is really good. And when you're trading with leverage, a $100 move is very good in Bitcoin. But then also you have a population that isn't really into it. They're doing it more passively, and they're investing, looking for, you know, those $100,000 price targets, $1 million price targets. They think if they buy one Bitcoin, you know, they put a nice investment in. I mean, let's face it, $9,000 isn't small amount of money for most people, and you know, they're putting that investment in, and their plan is to hold on till it gets to $1 million and they can retire. So, you know, everybody kind of looks at it differently. And the way I see it is, you know, back in 2017, when I first got into YouTube, I mean, you can look at the kind of content I was doing. I came in with a wave of people that were like crazy excited to make money, and it was crazy. And I'd argue I did it better than anybody else on here. But when the market turned, I just didn't want to do it anymore, because at the end of the day, like you have to live with that. And not only did I lose money in the bear market, I also had that weight of people blaming me for their losses. And frankly, that was something that I'd be lying if I said I'm completely over it, but you know, I lost sleep, you know, definitely. It's like you lose money. Imagine losing a shitload of money and then waking up to comments and tweets and all this, people like, you fucking idiot, you cost me all this money. Like it's like on top of your own personal loss, then you have people DMing you saying, I lost all my money, you know, I'm suicidal, I lost my wife, shit like that. Like I got those DMs. And, you know, there are some people that don't give a damn, but, you know, I have a heart, and I got into this thing because I was making money. I was right very often when it came to altcoins, and I wanted to help other people make money. But when the bubble popped, it was just kind of like, you know, it was a hard thing to adapt to, and it took time. And you know, when I look at what's out on YouTube now and what's popular, it's pretty much the same thing, you know. And this is when Kazanomics, my mentor, this guy is, you know, the GOAT of trading, says value is scarce. It's no bullshit, you know, like, and what he means by that is the things that most of the normal people flock to and consider valuable is never valuable, because somebody has to be on the other side of those trades. And, you know, if all the dumb people in the world think one thing is going to happen, guess what? It's not. So, you know, anyway, why are you not focusing on Huobi alts? You know what? In fact, I am. And I signaled some of them in the dojo, but the reason why I'm not talking about them publicly is because I don't want to be party to, you know, influencing a low cap alt. Some of those alts are like, you know, $2 million market caps. And, you know, if I start tweeting about it, I don't want it to pump because of my tweets and then create new bag holders. So, you know, like I try to be very responsible about which coins I discuss and which I don't. But definitely, I mean, I did make a tweet. I said, like, alt season is happening, and it's on Huobi. On Friday, like, you had some coins doing 300%, like, in a day. And, you know, Huobi is definitely an exchange where a lot of action is happening on the low cap alts. So, you know, if you got to find a way to get on there for sure. There are some that I'm playing, but I'm not like really actively promoting them at this point. Charles Fuchs, let's see some push-ups with a beer and six. Nah, man, I'm good right now. Captain Bean Crypto, boa tarde. Hey, boa tarde. That sounds cool. Brazil, man. Can I give an example? An example of what, Franz? An example of a Huobi coin? Like well, this was the one that I talked about. But there were other ones that did like even way more. Where is this? Utrust. So like, and if you look at the chart, this is absolutely wrecked anyway. So let's zoom in. But like on Friday, so I signaled it like around here. It was like 117 sats. And I said, set with these low cap, if you get in here, like you can't like do crazy size. Like you really shouldn't be putting like 1 to 2 Bitcoin into something like this. But you could throw a few $100, $1,000, whatever you got, like small amount. Or that's a big amount for some people. But, if you have a small portfolio, that is kind of an advantage for you, is that you can play these super low cap things and you don't really have to worry too much about the liquidity. But my one recommendation for you, if you're going to play low cap kind of coins like on Huobi or other exchanges like Trade Ogre or something like that, is you make sure to set your sell orders in advance. And, you can be greedy about it, but like if you look at this chart here and we get in around in this wave right here, right? So so we enter somewhere in here, right? Looking at this is considered like the first area of resistance. There's a little shock wave here on the way down. This is also in negative price discovery. So you don't know how much lower this can go, but the reason I signaled it is because I saw a base developing here. This whole area, right? This was a long period of time accumulating between, so you're from August to December, like it's 4 or 5 months almost in this range. And the base of this range was around 200, 190 sats. When that goes, you take a 50% haircut. So everybody that's in here they're completely wrecked, right? And the way I see it is it had now created another base here. And the market was looking bullish, like as far as altcoin dominance and Bitcoin itself. So that's why I would signal something like this at that point in time. It made sense. And, you kind of hope to get lucky. But what you do is you kind of look. So like the first area of serious resistance would be right here, this cluster right here, right? So the center of that is about 150. That's a nice round number. Then you can look at like 175, but it doesn't make it there. So basically you enter at 115, 120, and then you keep some orders like around here in there. And, boom, in one wick, some guy buys it up or some private group signals it, makes people FOMO, and it shoots up and your orders get filled and then you do it again. But looking at this, this is kind of like a pump and dump kind of candle. It's starting to gain some support up here. I mean, I don't know too much about this. I don't want to talk about like you don't need to go out and buy this coin. In my opinion, it's very possible that the move has already happened. The next area would be the base here. So, like if you look, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. This was support. It breaks under it. Gets above it, rejected, under it again, rejected. The support becomes resistance. Now, that is your sign to get the hell out of this coin, or else you're going to take the big haircut down here. So, like if you were in this and you saw that happening, because right here we have developed a very clear support level, still support, it's unable to break out of the highs and get back up to here. And then once this, if you zoom in, once this support is tested from the bottom, right here, this right here, that's kind of like, okay, shit, it's not getting back over that support. Now the support has become resistance. So if you're in this, like the next target past this 150, 160 sat cluster would be around 190. So that's why I like the trade. It was a potential for a 2x. Let's see. What else? Do you think most of the majors follow the Wall Street cheat sheet market cycle? I think so. The Wall Street cheat sheet is based off Cisco Systems chart, I believe. And yeah, so this is the whole crash cycle right here. Then people kind of just isolate this, and I did a rect hour of Kaz where he went over this. You should, I mean, I don't know if that's still available, but super interesting stuff. He's the one who taught me everything about crash cycles, and most people don't know how to use it, but it's interesting. So you get the despair and depression down here, bounces up. Right here, people think this is going back up to the all-time high, and it goes back down. You get another high, then a low, but you're making higher lows, and then it does the last one. This one right here, that one probably kills people the most, because then you start to get a new steady uptrend. So as far as all assets following the same crash cycle, I don't believe that, because I think, you have to think about the emotions of the people trading the actual asset and what their intentions are. So like, for instance, if you're comparing gold to, tech stocks in the stock bubble, people were doing it for a different reason. People were buying gold because they were scared, they thought the world was ending, kind of similar to Bitcoin. That's why Kaz used the gold fractals so accurately, is because it was the same emotion. A lot of people were buying Bitcoin as a hedge to, financial ruin. That was the original selling point of Bitcoin. Hey, look at what happened. We have to create something new so that we don't get fucked when the market crashes, right? That's a fear emotion. Then you have stocks in the 2000s. That is, people are greedy. Everybody people want Lambos, right? So, Kaz is a fucking genius for identifying that. That's not something I would have ever thought about. So when he compares Litecoin, he doesn't compare it to gold, because Litecoin is a different emotion than Bitcoin. The people that invest in Litecoin want Lambos, right? That's greed. So you have greed and fear. I suggest you check out his blog at kazonomics.com if you want to learn more about that, because it's really not. It's better to hear it from him. That's not my work. So, but that being said, there's a little bit for you to think about. Anyway, meanwhile we're on that subject, Bitcoin. So this is the way I looked at Bitcoin, right? One of the most common things that I saw, I always do that, was, you see these two boxes here, and here? I saw a lot of, what did I do? A lot of comparison here to that. Now, because they say, oh, look, this crash cycle that happened in 2018, we got it again here. It's the same thing. Now, the way I see it and saw it is, in 2018-17, you have that 5,800 6K base, right? So here. Now you have the high, then you have complacency, dumps. This candle right here, this is where shit, this is bad, right? So at this point, had I known what I know now, I would be getting the fuck out of the market and shorting bounces. Didn't know that. Had to learn the hard way. Now I know. That's how I was able to catch it here. When I went on this show, Block TV, right in this candle right here, and told people, listen, if this doesn't get higher, like right now, if it gets rejected right here, like this is going to go down a lot. I tried to warn people because I saw this. This was the same thing as this, right? Now, back to this versus that. This you're still getting. I remember this was May of 2018. The emotion was not what the emotion here was, okay? This was the month of consensus. A lot of people still believed that Bitcoin was going to go to 50K and that altcoins, I mean, people, even like myself, we thought Icon was going to be $100, right? And, you know, there was still a crazy amount of hope in the market. And when it failed here and went back down, this just killed everybody. And, you know, everybody kind of got tired, upset, angry, and then it fell off a cliff after this base was established. Now, if we look back to 2019 summer, we have the base at pleb eject level right here, right? Look, this is a shockwave developing right above pleb eject, capitulates. The only difference is you get this bounce in October, which is crazy. And then does this move here where this really kills everybody. At this particular wave right here around 6K, 6,400, between 64 and 7, the emotions in the market were fucked up. Like people I know were like DMing me. A lot of people wanted to quit. People were getting sick. They were getting hospitalized. Like, think about all the groups that you were in were silent. Crypto Twitter was silent. Everybody was trolling each other. This was a very kind of despair, depressed, angry emotion, where this wave right here was completely the opposite. People were still very, very optimistic here. So that's why I don't really believe that this and that was the same thing. So hence why I long 6870. Basically, you know, I'm looking for that peak of people being fucked up and destroyed by the market, and 6400 was a key level for it to hold on to. It did. We've been in an uptrend for 6 weeks now, and let's zoom in a little bit more. So we have the low, a new high, a low, higher low, higher high, higher low, made another higher high. I mean, the trend is your friend right now. Right now, we're also in super thick resistance. Like, basically, I made a tweet that said, like, we're at the gateway of, like, crazy financial gain if this goes, but I'm not sure it's going to go through. From a technical perspective, we need to take out this to really be, like, full bullish. But things do look very well. If you look at this level that Kaz has, it's called pleb eject, that name couldn't be more fitting. This area of price makes people crazy and it kills people. I got plenty of DMs from people who lost a lot of money this week. Like these candles here, this one that dumps down to 9,100 from 94, like just that, it's only $300, but if people are trading this like aggressively with leverage, these type of moves kill you. And what I think happens around this price action, and we can look back to 2019 summer right here. I keep trying to warn people. I've tweeted multiple times, but look right here. See, these are 8-hour candles, and they're going from 8,700 to 9,500 approximately, and then back down, and then up. And like in a matter of a couple of days, it swung $600-$700. Those moves are killing people on BitMEX and other exchanges like Dudex. Look back to 2017, where it became a level. Look at these swings here. So like for a bull market to happen, it has to kind of like crush people in a way. And it's weird because like you would think, being that Bitcoin was $3,000 and it made it up to 14K, that like last year people would have been so happy and done really well. But you heard most people just complaining about it. They didn't make any money. It's kind of weird, right? Like think about that. So anyway, where we are now, this needs to break to the upside. If it does, you're looking at this kind of like 10,500 area to be big resistance if it gets through this. 10K is also kind of an area where, because it's a nice round number, you want to be careful. But if this shock wave breaks to the upside, we take out this high, there isn't going to be much to stop it to get here. And if it gets through that, like, it could get very crazy very quickly. So my advice is to trade the trend. I am sensing a lot of excitement in the market right now, and I actually closed my long, not much, not like maybe about an hour ago. I want to kind of see what happens. I don't need to be in right here. If this breaks out, I'll know that I can participate and kind of, make some money being long. I also have spot exposure too. So, it's not like I'm fully risk off. I don't think it's time to go risk off completely. However, kind of like this area here, where is it? Yeah, right here. I'll give you a hint. On the way up here, this was kind of like tough, like right around here somewhere. So maybe like 89.60, 89.40. That's an area I'm looking for, like this wave. I could see it revisiting that. If this gets hard rejected and kind of like takes out this low here at 88, 88.78, like 88.80, that would be kind of a bad sign. So we would like to see it continue up. I don't really want to see it break below this wave. It can happen and still be bullish, but it wouldn't be the best sign. Let me see. All right, sorry, just been going on and on and on. Let me get to the chat, see what you guys are saying. Breaking news from Japan. Breaking news, coronavirus. Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, coronavirus is real. Like, that was part of why I made the call. Where? Here. No, not even here. No, here. Actually, I'm sorry. I made the call here after this move right here to kind of get into longs for BTC. Everybody was kind of looking for the yearly open. A lot of people were expecting the sevens. I was short here, but I actually closed the short and long because I saw the coronavirus news. I mean, BitLord was actually the one that kind of put me onto it. But, if you look at it, it's definitely a bit more serious than people thought. And I could kind of see, especially with China having all the issues there, that's the, ground zero. That whole narrative of Chinese people moving, rich, wealthy Chinese whales want to move their money out of China, mainland China. They got to move it out, so they're buying Bitcoin to move it out. That's a narrative that we've seen very many times. And this is kind of a scenario where you can see that narrative being used, as well as, 50 million people got quarantined. That's not a joke. And people are like, oh, yeah, so the flu kills all these people. I mean, have you seen the videos? Like, there are people in hazmat suits, people are dropping dead. Like, the flu isn't doing that shit, and it's not that contagious. Plus, you have the 2-week incubation period where people don't know they have it, and then it's hyper transmittable. So, my fear is that these other countries that are just starting to get cases now, in the next week or two, there is potential for outbreaks in other countries like India or Japan or America. And, a week from now, you're going to see if this starts to really spread and you get, hundreds or thousands of people in New York City get infected, it's going to be pretty fucking scary, and it's going to be pretty crazy for the markets as well. So, not to say that so let's look at like NASDAQ, right? This is what a bull run looks like. Okay. Let's look at the monthly. All right, so this is 2002. This is going straight up. Think about how many people have told you, oh, a recession is coming, right? How old are you? 2002. So this is 18 years. This is what the chart looks like. Think about how many times people on the news, whoever, Twitter, family members, oh, the debt, there's too much debt. The stock market's going to crash. The stock market crash. Like, since 2002, you had the subprime crash in 2008, but looking at 2008, that's still 12 years. This is parabolic as fuck. Okay, that's basically almost, it's like an 8x, right? Yet everybody's telling you not to buy this, and throughout these past 12 years, I'm certain there have been a lot of scary things that have happened that are just as scary as coronavirus, if not scarier. So, don't be so quick to say it's all going to end. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to get caught bag holding the top. And when we look at what we're seeing now, we have this high put in. Coronavirus starts to really kind of pick up some traction. You get a little bit of a dump, but it was like 1.5%. So you lose 1.5% after that. What is that? It's not really anything, right? But on what was it, Monday? No, what's today? Saturday. A couple days ago, you have, I think it was Wednesday actually, you have Tesla and Amazon go absolutely crazy after market, 10%, 11%. Meanwhile, the Nas was actually down on the day. It was right here in this candle. So it kind of created like a false sense of comfort. And yesterday you saw some pretty decent pullback as the White House did their briefing and announced that the coronavirus is actually, in fact, a public health emergency. They closed borders to foreigners who have been in Wuhan province and in China. And all Americans that were there need to subject themselves to a 14-day quarantine. So that kind of like puts it on the map as something a bit more serious, was used as a narrative for this candle here. You saw the stock market pull back. At the same time, you saw Bitcoin go up. And for the past week or so, it's been behaving that way. So definitely keeping an eye on what the stock market does versus Bitcoin. I do not believe that Bitcoin is that safe haven asset that people say, but I do pay attention to what narrative will be spun, and I look at what the chart is doing. So Bitcoin is on an uptrend. You have this kind of fear in the markets, and it will soon be used. Oh, Bitcoin's the safe haven. It doesn't mean that's why it's pumping, but I think it bodes well for Bitcoin. Let's see. Mike Chang, yeah, you don't want to get caught with the fake out, but that's probably a safer play. I long 92.50 and I closed 93.75, so it's kind of like a scalp. Depends on what you want to do. If you're not trading, like if you're spot, like you don't need to like be completely flat here. It looks good, let's face it, it looks pretty good. But I think within the next 24 hours, we'll get some sort of a dip that you can buy. You want to buy the dips. In a bull trend, you buy the dips. In a bear trend, you short the bounce. And, when you're trading against the trend, so I shorted 95.30 and I closed at 92.50 and opened along. I was looking for it to break 9K actually when I shorted 9,500. But then I was like, you know what? The trend is bullish, and I saw the way price was developing. So this is where I did it. Let's see. So here you have these three candles, right? This is where I closed, like right here. So basically you have this wick out of this one right here basically served as support. So this was resistance, rejected, pushes it back down into this wave, all the way to the bottom of the candle, fully retraces this candle at 8,900, and then it takes off, right? But this is where the rejection happened. This scared the shit out of people and pushed it all the way down. So then, in this wave, you get some wicks kind of like in this area. This didn't quite make it, went up, rejected. This one made it. And then you're pumping again. This one made it. This bounces and brings you to the high. So I knew this kind of price range, what's it, 91.80? That's significant. That has to hold on. When it pulls back here, it doesn't make it there. It gets bought before, so I felt like, okay, I got lucky. Well, no, I didn't get lucky, but it worked out really nicely. When the second wick comes and it makes an even higher low, doesn't get below this, I'm like, all right, the trend is bullish. I don't need to hold on to this short and give it all back, because let's face it, when Bitcoin starts to go up, if you're in short, you're going to feel emotional. You're going to be closing that shit or really starting to move your stops, or I don't know, like you don't want to be short in a bull market. So, that's why I closed and flipped long. But right now, the weekends, the volume is super, super low. We have this. Usually what happens in these waves is the volume gets sucked out, and that's the market maker kind of getting as much of the supply as possible, wash trading, killing the high leverage traders. And then once enough people have been wrecked and the big players have enough of the position that they want, they decide which direction it goes. And then you see another volume climax. So we saw it right here. Here's the volume goes down, and then boom, it breaks out into this candle. And we get the pump. Now it's doing a wave again. Volumes being sucked out of the market, especially on the weekends, and then we'll get another move probably in the next day or two. What's up, Jay Pizzle? Hey, shout out to Jay Pizzle from Twitter. Guys always around. It's a good dude, man. Opinion on MGI. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Let's see. Thumbs up, you noobs. Can I talk about Aeon? I'll check it out. The Interoperability Alliance. Okay, so you have a nice little shockwave, bullish shockwave developing here. All right, so this is a horrific downtrend. Really bad. Let's see. Like, you don't need to buy right here to make money if this reverses. Let's put it that way. But let's zoom in. This is rather bullish looking right now at the moment. It's a stick. This is going straight up. So we went from 600 to, yeah, so it did a 2x. Yeah. It's been in this range for a while. The volume is ramping up. You have ICX and Wine kind of doing their thing. This looks pretty strong. You want it over, if it gets over this, like this 1400, then, you know, you're targeting 2K plus. So, you know, I would be a little cautious here. Kind of want to see what happens, but this looks pretty strong. It doesn't look bad. You can't say it looks bad at this point. It's a nice, got a nice little short-term uptrend going on right now, but you know, it can pull back. You know, if you're not in and you kind of want to get in, I mean, probably like here, like 950 sats probably be a good area to play. This, you don't want, like if you catch 950, you want that to bounce like right away. You can put a pretty aggressive stop on that. Like if it goes below 900, then it might just be over and go back down. But you know, typically on the moves up, you see these little kind of like small waves develop. Those a lot of the times get retested, or you know, if they break, it gets ugly like quick. So being that it's like a lower, it's not huge market cap, not huge volume, these can break and be pushed into a wick. So another strategy that I'll use is if like you're trading it on whatever exchange, you kind of like check the order book, see where the big orders are. They're always going to be in significant spots. So like if you see like there's like a bunch of big orders around 950, you know, you can put your order at like 965, something like that. I haven't looked, so I don't know, but that's kind of where I would target, like between 950 and 1,000 sats, depending on how aggressive you want to play it. Miyagi, honestly, though, don't you feel like the majority of people are optimistic about crypto? Like now, since Tesla is killing it, there are still even people that don't think it's a good company. Well, we got into Tesla under $200. And at that point, it was the most shorted stock. And if you looked at anybody, people that were Tesla bulls, like they were being trolled relentlessly at that point. And that has since changed. Even if you look back to the Cybertruck unveiling, a lot of people were talking shit. And I had made tweets like, yeah, why are you shorting this company? Like, do you not have eyes? Like, this is the future of transportation, pretty clearly. And you know, I don't care where you, well, it does matter where you live. But if you live in a somewhat affluent neighborhood, you couldn't help but notice that there are Teslas everywhere. I mean, they're everywhere. And it's the hot car to have. And you know, like Elon is really doing his thing. So, you know, now you're seeing a lot of euphoria around Tesla. It's kind of, you know, I don't call the tops or bottoms, but this is straight up, you know, like, but who knows when it's going to stop? It hasn't given us a reason to think it's going to stop. So shorting this stock right now is not the smartest thing, because people have been doing it the whole way up. So you kind of want to see, some sort of signs of a top, and you know, the only thing you can do is look at like the sentiment around it, and you're starting to see, you know, 14-year-old kids shilling Tesla stock on TikTok. You know, that's kind of indicative of something that you don't necessarily want to be in. But from a charting perspective, this is not something you want to get in the way of just yet. At least that's the way I see it. It could be. This could literally be the top right now because, it got like what, 11% overnight. That's a huge move. And, I wouldn't be longing that either right here. So, if I had to guess, I think there will be a pullback, but I can't say that the run is over, like that it won't go to $1,000. It might. Let's see. So as far as talking about crypto and people are optimistic, I noticed that people do seem to be pretty optimistic right now. But you got to also remember, we're talking about, like, you got to think about who you're talking about when you say people are optimistic. Like, which people? The people that have stuck around in crypto through a bear market for 2 years are optimistic because you're seeing some sort of reversal. I mean, they should be. If you talk to the average person outside of crypto Twitter doesn't hold Bitcoin or anything, I wouldn't say that people are exactly optimistic or euphoric about crypto right now. So you got to think about who are the future participants in this market that aren't in it right now. Are they optimistic? Do you think that they're getting euphoric? Are you getting phone calls from friends and family? I don't know. Are you? I wouldn't say that we're exactly at like a hype level. Nothing like 2017. So, I think there's opportunity for things to get better. However, this is part of why I closed my long, because I feel like, right now people are kind of like waiting for that explosion and expecting it. And it usually happens when people don't expect it. Not to say that the market's going to crash, but we might need a little bit of a pullback first before we can take off again. Do you think we see an alt season? I think you have to define what alt season is. Like I said earlier, Huobi's alts are doing alt season right now. I think there are alt plays to be made. And I think we will see some nice runs. Yeah. I mean, it may not be what 2017 was. It might be bigger. I'm not certain. They asked me on the last stream what I thought, and yeah, I think there will be a time where alts do really well. So, the more you know and understand about trading and like kind of like risk management and being able to take chances and at the same time, like, so if you haven't watched my last video, like, out of all the content that I've done, I find that to probably be the most valuable. So it's the 5 tips for crypto trading, whatever. I forgot what I called it, but the shit in there is legit, man. Like, that's like how I'm able to make money and how I learned the hard way. So, just because you don't trade with leverage, just because you're not trading stocks or whatever the case may be, if you're involved with crypto markets, like, you should watch it because it'll give you a different perspective. And, those tools and tips that I talk about, they'll help you no matter what. I'm also going to make a new video for people that want to be altcoin investors. Now, it's not going to be what you want. It's going to be what you need to hear because, people, this whole hodl meme and all that, and I'm an investor, I'm long-term, bro, and I only invest in good projects. Like, that's bullshit, okay? But there is a way to do it. There's a right way and a wrong way, and I know the right way, and I'm going to tell you guys about that in my next video. So definitely stay tuned for that one. Market punks. I'm here live. I live in the doghouse. Plus token. Yeah. I don't think that's it seems to be over. Don't you hate the word crypto? Yeah, you know what? I kind of do. I kind of do. Okay. All right. This guy's the hero here. Check out Ford. Let's see. So, zoom out a little bit more. So basically, you're in a bull flag here. I kind of like where it is. This is an SR flip level. This is very similar to to the BAT basic attention token chart It's almost the same thing. The more you trade, the more you'll notice patterns, but check this out. Where's BAT BTC on Bittrex? What the hell is it? All right. So kind of similar, right? You have the move up, the retrace. This is the area where it dumps from, makes the low, moves up, retraces to that same area, that support, bounces up, kind of makes a similar high, like not a higher high, but stalls at the same area. Then it makes this long kind of backbreaking move right back to this level. Same thing. See? Downtrend, makes a high, dumps, same thing. It's like, does it again, does it again. Yeah. This can kind of like, you want to be a buyer around here, but you got to keep a stop below this. Like, if this little area gets invalidated, then that would be bad. So see, it's like right in the center of that wave. This, you can make a play on this, but you know, kind of want to see what's going on with the overall market. If the indexes take a hit, like I don't see why Ford would be like one of the stocks to outperform at this point in time. So I kind of wait for this to prove itself. You can wait for this to kind of move. You know, you don't have to play here, but you know, I would personally, I wouldn't do it, but it could. I don't not like what I'm seeing from it, but this can play out for some more time. It's not really showing a sign of reversing just yet. You kind of wait for a little bit. We need to see a little bit more from the overall market before playing that one. That's the way I see it. For a 20-year plan. What needs to happen for us to get back to 2017 euphoria? Well, I'm not certain that can happen. What do we need? I don't have the answers. If I had to guess, I don't think that can happen again, because there are so many, like when you look at the amount of people that got wrecked at the top of that market, it's hard to get that much capital in all at once again with the same thing. Like basically for altcoins to do well, you're going to need Bitcoin to do well first off. You would need, like if Bitcoin was able to make a new high, obviously, then the euphoria would be as high, if not higher, than in 2017. People would be getting pretty crazy if Bitcoin makes a new high, and then you have that human emotion of greed. Shit, I miss Bitcoin. What else can I buy? But I don't think it does the same thing as far as like the whole market pumping like that. You're gonna need some sort of adoption, most likely. And I'm not seeing it yet, but I'm not a tech guy. I'm hopeful that we'll see that, but so far dApps are not really proving to be a use case. Decentralization is not being embraced by people, and they're not user friendly. They're not more efficient. They're not necessarily needed yet. You could make the argument that there are some good use cases for it, but nobody has been able to successfully implement it. It's like the most used platform is like CryptoKitties or something like that. So, nobody's really using it yet. And, I don't have the vision to know what it's going to be. I'm sure something will come along that will kind of use it, but nothing has come out as a game changer yet. And the other part is, just because you're using blockchain doesn't mean there needs to be a token. So you got to always remember when you're investing in altcoins, the fundamentals behind most of these is not very good. That's being generous, really. So just because the price goes up doesn't mean it's valuable, Everyone will take money from BTC to alts as it drops. Right. Yeah, market cycles. This market punks guy is fucking annoying, though. Like, shut up, man. Very annoying. Anyway, let's see. All right, so EOS is another one that we've been talking about for a while. Spent a crazy amount of time in this range here, 200 days approximately. Now we are developing above. Definitely want to see it separate itself from here and then take out this level. This is kind of like a dangerous spot. I could see it revisiting in. Kind of reminds me of VeChain a little bit. So, this is Bittrex only. Let me see. So VeChain had this price action above, and it just kind of flagging down into the center of it here. So back to EOS. Like, if you're conservative, this area right here would be a really nice spot to get in my opinion. So like here. So between 38 and 39.50, like that would be a nice entry. With you can define your risk there. You really want to be, if it gets there, you want to be right, like you want it to kind of go your way quickly. You don't want it just sitting there and dilly-dallying around. But if you catch that could end up being a pretty nice entry. The other thing that you could wait for is for this area to get taken out. So yeah, it's around like 4,800. If it gets above that, it's a pretty good sign that this is quite bullish. The next area is over 5K, like here. So ultimately, if you take out this like 6K, then it's like, all right, this is a bull market for EOS. But between 44 and 6, there's a lot of room to play in there. So, trade the trend. This looks pretty strong. I really like kind of this area as an entry. Zero. He said, "Why are you zero hedging me?" DeFi is a game changer. Lots of Ethereum is locked down. Yeah, we'll see. I'm seeing a lot of DeFi discussion. Skycoin, one of the true projects. No. Yeah, there's too much scammy stuff going around with Skycoin for me. I don't really trust it. XRP. Let's look at XRP USD first. So obviously, alts on USD pairings should look better than BTC pairings at the moment because BTC has been going up. This isn't showing, from a USD perspective, it isn't showing me anything just yet that looks crazy good. But, you've developed here. This is holding on. We're getting price acceptance above 23 cents, 23.5 cents. That's a good sign. Yeah, like from a USD perspective, this looks pretty good for more upside. The next area is around 30 cents where this can go. Let's look at it from BTC. Spending a lot of time here. You could wait. You don't have to buy it here. I mean, if you're not trading it with leverage, though, and you're taking more of a long-term approach, this isn't a bad time to buy it. You know, I can't say it's bad. Use a stop. You don't want, like, the low being taken out. Like, if it gets below this, like, if it gets below 2,300, like, that's kind of scary. Could be a stop run. You know, sometimes there are stop runs where they take out the low and someone buys it up and then it takes off. That's possible. But if that happens, like, let's say you have your stop, you enter here and your stop is, you know, below this low here, like 24.50 or something like that. You get stopped out, goes down to 2,200 and then takes off with volume. Then you can buy it as it's going up and you know, be right away. And, you know, you end up making all that money back. That's why it's important to have a stop. If it breaks below and goes below 2,200 and doesn't get bought, I mean, this can go to 1,000 sats. You can lose half your money. So, you know, have a plan. Looking at XRP, this is clearly a level where you want to see a bounce. If it breaks down below like it did here, you know, it can go all the way down. So you don't know what's going to happen. But this isn't a bad time to buy, the way I see it. And not bad. What's up, Samp? Yeah, Synth is a wild card. I interviewed him. Catch that interview. That was the most fun I've had interviewing anybody in crypto, by the way. It was a wild conversation, but there's a lot of crazy stuff around Skycoin. Kind of, you know, I don't have too much faith in it. Let's look at the chart just for shits and giggles. We'll check it out. Definitely an uptick in volume here. That's for sure. I mean, this is down like 99%. So yeah. Yeah, then I'd say the next time it gets over like 7,000 sats, it's probably going to run a bit more. So if you see it starting to make that move, like, you can buy it over 7,000 sats. I might play that. So something is happening. Interesting. Good catch. Should my cousin June? I don't know what that means. If not leveraged in any price, well, not any price, you know. Let's put it this way. So this guy says, if not leveraged, any price is a good buy. Doubly so if you know how to hedge with shorts or potential dumps. Yes, but you got to think of opportunity cost, right? So there are other coins that are showing some really nice strength and looking good and have already begun their uptrend. And you don't know when XRP is going to do it. So you could be sitting there in XRP for a month and do nothing and miss out on things that were like blatantly obviously good looking coins. So I wouldn't say any price is a good buy. I would be a bit, this guy's funny. Thoughts on Chainlink? Check out, people want to see Tezos? Yeah, absolutely. I'll check it out for you guys. Let's see. Which one? I look at it on Kraken, I think. XRT, XPT. Yeah, this one. All right. See? This is the same, by the way, this is the same move that Ford did, right? Here, you have this long extended flag, this backbreaker. Then it does an even deeper backbreaker down here. This clears out everybody. This move from here to there, it's only like 100 sat difference, but this kills everyone. And then you have the run. So never, you know, once you've had like kind of like a level defined, it can get taken out in this long kind of arching slow move. So as it goes up here, people have a lot of hope. Here, not so much. This is a kind of depressed despair emotion, and then it takes off without you. And then you have the trend. So let's see. I haven't looked at this one in a while. Yeah, this line right here, this is around 1950. If this gets taken out, I'm bullish. So it's got to get above this one. Got some nice support. Looks like it's starting to pick up here. Let me see it on Coinbase. The volume is meh. Yeah, 1950 has to get taken out for me. It's close. It's getting there, but be careful. Don't FOMO in just yet, fellas. Obvious is only as good as the news of the event. I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, this is moving average resistance right here. Let's look at Chainlink. I'm about to get out of here. Got stuff to do. Let's look. USD. Chainlink USD. It's coming up on resistance. Let's look at, what is that on Binance? This is a really interesting price action here. I have a hard time knowing what to make of this. So this doesn't, it's not something I'm too familiar with, this whole action here. Usually this dumps down here and then makes a lower high, but this level held this. Remember, a couple of streams ago I told you this was a good spot to buy. This is failing though. If this gets past 32, go for it, you know? Ride it up to the top. That's what I would do, but I wouldn't buy here. Not a buyer here. Thinking of selling all my VeChain, getting into something else. VeChain has not done shit. Interesting enough, my buddy in the dojo, Stillman, has been looking at VeChain. It's been frustrating. But look, so as I discussed on the other charts, you got one of these right into it. This is bouncing. I would wait before selling, personally. If this low gets taken, if it goes below 55, get the hell out. That's the way I see it. But at this point, you would be selling the bounce off of strong support if you sell now. Volume's picking up a little bit. This is definitely support, right? So you don't typically want to sell support. If you do sell it, that's okay. It hasn't done too much lately, but that's what this move is. This right here is to make you think it's not doing anything. It did something. It went from 30 to 100. That's you know, it did a 3x in BTC. So this move was good. A lot of people entered here. You know, look at the volume. Where's the biggest volume come? The top. So people bought at 100 sats. It's now 60. So they lost 40%. So of course people are going to say it's not doing anything. You know, that's sentiment right there. The fact that you said that and asked me that, and look what it is. It is starting to do something. So if I were you, I'd hang on a little bit longer. Okay. All right. LTC USD. We're going to be wrapping it up, so make sure you get your questions in. It's looking pretty strong. Looking strong. It'll depend on what BTC does, but you know, it made a really strong move versus BTC the other day. LTC looks good. So if LTC is strong versus BTC and BTC looks good, LTC is going to rip on USD side. So I like it. I think it looks good. I just did Chainlink thoughts. Tomo, check Tomo. To buy low and sell high. What a troll. All right, so this is a really bad one. But this is a strong candle here. Let's see. Is it bouncing off anything significant? Volume leaves something to be desired. You want to see it kind of break convincingly above the neckline. This is so far showing a rejection here. So I wouldn't be entering right now. Needs to prove itself a little bit more first. WTC, funny you mention it. Huh. I mean, I would say that's action. I don't know about you, but that looks like action. That's all I'm going to say on that one. But good question. Good question. Yeah, we checked XTZ. We did both. Let's see. What do you think about it? Gives a different implication. I thought I did XTZ USD, but I'll check it again. Like I said, most of the USD pairings are going to be looking stronger because BTC is looking stronger. So, yeah, it's doing this kind of like cup and handle thing, meme thing that people talk about. Let's see. Yeah, from like a USD perspective, you want to see this taken out. I mean, if it gets over $2, like you can FOMO in, really. Like, do you need it at $1.70 or? This is a strong trend. But it has to take this out and that. So, if it gets over $2 USD, FOMO away. That's the way I see it. But keep a stop. You don't want to see it rejected here. But yeah, like over $2, it looks crazy strong. So you can wait another 30 cents. You don't have to have it now. Let's see. You just went all in WTC. Don't do that. MGI. To be honest, I don't know enough about MoneyGram technically. With all this stuff, here's my opinion, okay? With all the stocks that are doing well, I don't understand why you would care to look at this. Unless you know like some insider info or something. Like this is not what I like to trade, right? And stocks are in a full bull market. You have you have this, right? This is a weekly chart. Why are you not trading that versus like that? So, right. That doesn't excite me. Because look, this has been here since 2012 years of this. Now it's going to go? I don't know. But, it doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense. The same way people keep trading Tilray. Tilray is in a fucking horrible downtrend. Why do you care about this? This is ridiculous to me. This can just go away. They can go under and disappear for all you know. I don't fucking know. It's like the shitcoin of stocks is Tilray, but yet I constantly see people talking about it. It doesn't make any damn sense to me. Like you have solid companies like Apple and Tesla that we use these companies. Yep, look, this is what you want. If you're longing stuff, unless you're talking about shorting, you want this, right? Starbucks, right? Netflix. This is what you want, okay? Not the opposite of that. Like literally, this is the opposite of a bull run, right? You can see it, okay? We can invert it. Hey, there's your bull run, right? There are charts that look like this. Trade that if you want to long. Don't long this, okay? It's not a winning idea. Let's put it that way. I have no long-term investment when it comes to crypto. At this point, there is no long-term investment because they need to prove themselves, and they haven't. And when it comes to exchanges, they've also proven to come and go. So investing too much in an exchange token is dangerous. So I just trade. We'll look at BNB, the chart. But, fucking CZ seems pretty unhinged to me. He seems kind of unhinged these days. You don't know what he's going to do. This needs to prove itself more. It doesn't look great. What else? All right. Well, that was fun. It's been an hour with you guys. I'm hungry as hell. I'm gonna go eat something. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. I mean, I put stuff. There are people who are like, "Oh yeah, you don't do anything," because like I don't do YouTube. But like I'm always on Twitter. You know, if you ask me questions, I'll answer. I do what I can. I try to help the community. And stay tuned for my next videos. I got some really cool stuff, valuable stuff that I've been working on. So I hope you enjoy that. Check out the last video I did. And one more reminder: Dudex is my sponsor. This exchange is for shorting only right now. Only shorting. Because this funding rate right here, 0.11, is huge. And there's always a premium. So right now, if you want to sign up, if you feel like hedging is a good, you can hedge. That people hedge. It's good. Dudex.com/Korean Jew. Make sure to get those limit orders filled, not market. You don't need to market in and market out all the time. But the funding is always crazy high here, favoring shorts. So if you want to hedge or if you feel like shorting, I shorted 95.30 and got crazy funding. The funding was 0.24. So the funding's super high here. It's definitely worth it. You can make some. You'd be surprised how well you could do, especially if you catch a good one. Because I shorted 95.30, I held it to 92.50, but I was getting paid 0.25% funding. Also, on top of a $300 move. It was sick. It was a really good trade. So definitely check it out. Yeah, thank you. You like my hair, my pompadour? I got a haircut. When next deadlift? Yeah, I'm going to try to do 450 next week. I'll try to do 450 next week. Yeah, I'm going to do actually a stream on Twitch pretty soon with Kaz. We're going to do another episode of Rect Hour. So